Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. Okay, so this is a tarot reading that I'm doing for the 111 portal. We're gonna take a look. I'm feeling very heavy twin flame energy coming out as we're approaching this very, very powerful time. That's why it's coming out. Like, I did a whole reading where twin flames literally like took over, and my video was so choppy and all over the place that I had to upload it, or I uploaded it, but you can only listen to it. If you feel guided, take a look down below. But I took over with channeled messages that I wanted to get more into the cards. So this is like part 2 of that, but that's why I got my camera flipped down. Like, the energy is coming through. I mean, I know, being a starseed, that I very much impact electronics. Okay, that's what I mean. Like, I know that it might not even be YouTube or just the portal. It could literally be just me, right? But I don't know. If it bothers you, then it's not meant for you. Because if it intrigues you enough to listen to the audio, like, that's how you're getting the teaching anyways. I mean, literally the whole thing was like a channeled message, and not even like I only pulled a few cards in that one. I don't know. So anyways, let's see. This is the golden soulmate and the golden twin flame oracles that I combined to get some messages. Okay, so we're going to pull out the energies now. This is collective energy, so you need to trust your intuition and take what you feel is for you, because some cards may be confirmation for you and others may not, because it's collective, right? But this is what's coming out. So let's see. Like, that's why I like this. I don't use this one a lot. I don't use a lot of collective, like, oracle, because it drives me crazy more than anything. Like, I could be in a reading, and not just mine, where I'm watching somebody go through cards and they're pulling everything. And then people, like, I know I've been there where I'm like, oh my gosh, well, if that resonated, does that mean this resonates? Or then I sit there like, how do I know what is for me and what is not for me? Well, you have to trust, because you need to know that these readings are more confirmation. If you go looking for answers, like, no. Like, you need to get a personal reading for one, because these are collective readings, or you need to invest in like your own tarot deck, your own oracle, and get your own answers. Okay, and like, I don't understand how so many people get misled by that, but they do. And I know I went down that path too, right? Especially if you're like, oh my gosh, this is my reading because this resonates, you know what I mean? And then I'm popping off thinking, like, there's literally, like, my ex, he had to deal with a lot of like stuff and getting in my head and all of that, and a lot of these dark karmic readers on here getting like, it's sad. I mean, maybe I was meant to experience those to share my story, and to be careful of that. But you know what? He shouldn't have been doing all of these things to make me feel insecure. He wouldn't have had to deal with my insecurities, right? So I don't know. It's all a learning, but yeah, I've learned from that. So anyway, that's why I don't always do that, but I felt guided to this today. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to turn out neat, hopefully. So relationships came out right away. So clearly we feel... What is going on with my speech today? Like, we don't even have a Mercury retrograde. Maybe somebody's nervous. That's another reason why I'll mess up my communication energy. I'm feeling nervousness. Maybe somebody's feeling nervous. But anyway, we have this Cancer full moon that's within 48 hours, right? And Cancer is all about like relationships, home, family, all of that. So for some of you, like, you're really taking a look at your emotions at this time. So see, this is definitely like a collective energy for sure. Right. So relationships. Okay. I know that one's very big. All right, look, electric shock is right here, and shifting gears. For some of you, you could be realizing that your passion has changed or faded. And it's interesting, that last reading I was talking about sex magic and how that works. And yeah, sex magic, literally, like when somebody touches you, like, I'll never forget the first time that, like, I was under spell work and I kissed somebody, what it felt like, right? And I thought, oh my gosh, she's my twin and all of that. I mean, he is a past life lover, soulmate, and maybe he was my first past life lover, soulmate. So I felt that instant connection or whatever. but like it faded, you know? And I'm like, why would it fade when I have all of this love for him? And that's really when it was tipping off to me that it was, in fact, spell work, right? Because it loses its form, right? Especially as I was ascending and rising above. And then that's when, you know, spell work, black magic, love spells, all of that only work if you're in a lower state of vibration where they can take a form of you. And I fully wasn't confident yet, because once I got in my confident level, I was just like, why is the passion not there anymore? Like, I'm like, I love him. Like, I was like, I know I feel it with my heart, but why is it physically not there? And he, if anything, was like, it's because the spell work actually went the other way. Like, it goes back to sender. When it's projected somewhere, it's got to go back to sender. Because then he started to get like crazy obsessed, and it was like he couldn't get close enough to me and all of this. So I was also seeing it too. I was like, oh my gosh, like literally the spell work is like hitting him. Like, I'm seeing it or whatever. But anyway, it fades, right? It doesn't take a hold, right? So if you've noticed that things are, you know, fading and things like that, especially like if you pull back your sexual energy and they start to treat you differently, things like that, then you know it's really not love in the heart, right? Because they don't have that, because they'll siphon that sexual energy to cloak themselves and project it. So literally that's how the magic works, is it's like they're using your energy against you. You're falling in love with yourself. They're cloaking themselves in your energy. Look at passion. That came out in the last reading too. So like if there's a lot of passion right away and things like that, it's often not real. Okay? Because it's like, well, I shouldn't say that. If it's like physically, you know what I mean? Like if someone sparks your heart's desire, that could be the passion too. But whenever I see this red and all of that, red's connected to the root, and the red and orange and all of that, that's why it's all around the sacral chakra, those lower chakra systems. If that's what's exciting you, like if you look at somebody and like you feel this instant urge, like you feel, you know what I mean, like heat and sensations and that sexual energy, you know what I mean, you're coming at them from a lowered state. Where if you're coming from a heart space, it's a different, it doesn't illuminate in this red for me. It's like a different, so I always associate this card with like the lower chakra systems, right? It's like friends first. Like that's often why like you become friends with people, and then that's how you can fall in love with friends and things like that. And it's more organically and natural, because as you get to know somebody, you fall in love with their heart, right? It's a different. So maybe for some of you, you're realizing your love for relationships is changing. You're wanting these more deeper soul levels, these higher level soul relationships, right? That's why, and really that's what it's supposed to be like you're supposed to just be comfortable, like in your own energy, like in love with yourself, right? So for some of you that could be changing here. And then okay, so separate, for some of you, like you've been separating with relationships, right? Like you feel like your heart, if you feel like your heart's like longing for something, like you're missing something, like that's how I knew that like I needed to separate. Like that was another big factor for me, is that like the passion was fading, okay? And it was like I felt like a piece was missing. I'm like, you're not fulfilling me on a heart level. Like I was trying to tell my ex for like a year, like I need you to start spiritually awakening, because I thought he was just like being blocked, and he was, I mean, he's very religious and I'm very spiritual, right? And I was trying to do a little like teachings and stuff, but he was just always shutting down. Now I realize he was like a spiritual narcissist. I almost said narcolepsy. I don't know. Maybe that's significant for somebody. Like if somebody's like putting you to sleep or something like that, I don't know how that came across, but I've been mixing up my words all day. All right, so but he was a spiritual narcissist. Like he hated, like I felt like he thought that like he had to destroy my spirituality, like have control. Like he thought, I don't know, that came across. So anyway, like I was always telling him, like I want to feel love. Like don't just tell me. Like he was such a word witch. right? And always like saying things, right? I was like, you can like, you tell me he loved me like 200 times in a day, and it was like getting like excessive. I'm like, I don't even like want to hear it. Like, it just aggravates me when you tell me you love me, because then I feel like you're just trying to tell yourself that, and like you don't. Like, I want to feel the love in your heart space, like, and what that would look like would be like you actually caring about what I care about, and your passions, your dreams, desires. I want to see you going after things. I want to see you doing things that light up your eyes, that excite you, right? Not just, you know what I mean, showing me more sexual. Like, that's when I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is like, that's what I mean. You could be realizing that, okay? Or maybe you are going to start to, right? So yeah, heartbreak is here. So for some of you, you could be experiencing heartbreak and things like that, because there's some of you really did love like I did. I very much love him, and I'll always have love for him, because you know, he advanced me so far in my journey, getting me to find that love from within, like and he tore down the walls of my heart and got me to actually broke my heart. It was the most painful relationship that I'd ever had, because I had so much love, and over again he was hurting me and things like that, but it made me stronger, right? And I'm very grateful of that. So even these karmic relationships, they very much they're so important. That's why I say often the karmic relationships are like your destined relationships that set you up. And now I know that what I want to experience, and like I will never let anybody else come in and treat me like that and put me in heartbreak. So it's like the heartbreak stops with him. Like, I know nobody will ever be able to come in and heartbreak me like that again. So I'm releasing that relationship with love, right? You know, and ultimately you found me to pour that love into myself, right? Like, everything that aggravated him about, like, it just makes me love myself like so much more. Okay, so it's all about transmuting that pain. Okay, so for some of you, you're really in changing the way you feel about yourself. Next is family. So for a lot of you, this could be a family member, right, that you're realizing, because we have these family members that work to be our triggers too, right? And so you could have family that, you know, making you feel abandoned and all of that, by releasing, forgiving, letting go, it empowers you to love yourself. For some of you, literally, you could be separating from family members that are toxic, right? That keep breaking your heart over and over again. Like, eventually you have to stand up and stop letting them do that, creating distance and space, right? And it's beautiful to be fond of like the memories and things like that, the golden memories. Maybe for some of you, you're getting ready to make some golden memories, okay? Wow, beautiful. Look in love, because you know, as soon as you shut the door and you close something that's not for you, you trigger what is for you. You're ready for a new level. Look at this connection. You're ready for a higher level love connection once you realize this. So it's a beautiful thing when you do realize it, but don't get caught up in the memories, right? Like, if you are going to think about memories, like the golden memories, the good times, right? Not the bad times, right? It's all about how you tell your story. Okay. Look, true love. True love is coming in. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're shifting gears here. There's hidden feelings, like literally, like your true love could already be within your vicinity. Wow. That's beautiful. I don't know why, but let's pull it out. Loyalty. Someone that's going to be loyal. Oh my gosh. Because for a lot of you, these lovers like weren't loyal and things like that. Because a lot of times people keep options open and third parties and do things like that because they're insecure. They don't want to get, you know, they don't want to be loyal and like afraid that whatever. I'm done trying to explain why the karmics did everything, right? But it's like, if you couldn't trust love or things like it was such a big red flag, like for me, but I just kept ignoring. Okay, I'm done. So anyway, you know, wouldn't it be nice to be with somebody that you knew had eyes just for you, that you knew that was just so loyal and dedicated to, like, oh my gosh, like that is what's coming. Like, no more of this like competing for love type of energy. Look, dream lovers coming out. This came out in the last reading too, when I pulled a couple cards. So like I said, this energy is definitely going together and like opening. I feel that you're opening up your heart. Look, oh my gosh, Spirit. They're showing wings of love again, which I didn't show it before because I don't really know how to explain that. But for some of you, like, you walked away to go towards your true lover, like you were set free to go towards like your golden love. Look at all this gold energy. Look, love grows golden, golden memories, and then this memories. See that gold, like you're going towards like a higher love. But look, what I was like, Spirit, look, the future and lasting love. So oh my gosh, for some of you, like, you are definitely coming together with like your kingdom spouse, your forever lover. This is getting married, things like that. Like, they set you up for your highest love connection, right? They taught you all of those things. For a lot of you, you were working through things. Like I didn't realize that I had like, I was never in love before because I felt unlovable when I attracted my ex. So breaking down those walls and getting to my heart, even though he abandoned and betrayed me time and time again and broke my heart and all of that, I still got to work through all of those things of jealousy, of, you know what I mean? Like, I never experienced what it felt like to be jealous or, you know, so I got to experience jealousy with him and possessiveness and controlling, and I got to see what that was like and what it did, and like, okay, don't do that. I got to experience what it's like to like not trust and go through someone's phone and then experience like, yeah, that's something you shouldn't have to do. If you feel like you have to look in somebody's phone or whatever for what they're hiding, then why are you in that? Like, I didn't even realize that was taking over control. Like, I needed to go through like an ego death. I remember thinking like, how dare, you know, him message other people and all of that. Like, I had to work through all of that. And I remember like, just all those energy. And then I remember feeling so devastated, right? Thinking about him sleeping around with somebody else. Cause you know, that sacred energy exchange is like so important and all of that. And you know, like, I got to experience all of that, and, you know, and it's allowing me to help people heal, and, you know, and it's all about, it's all part of it. And it's like, now that I experienced all of that, like, I know that I'll never experience all of that again. I'll never let any of that go on again. So yeah, it's all part of it. Like, we put ourselves in these things, these situations, but they're for growth, right? And especially when you get to experience what love is not, and then it prepares you for what love really is. And look at this, the real deal. Oh my gosh, this golden, this real lover is coming in. This is going to be lasting love. For some of you that have never been married, or even if you have been, like, just know this is going to be like your kingdom spouse, like, for real, for real, for real. It's so beautiful, you know. And then just, I'm so curious to see what this is going to be like, because like, they're showing me chemistry and electric shock, and just like I've been experiencing, like, if you have like a lot of this like passion up front because you're nervous, you're anxious, you should actually pay attention to that nervous anxiousness is because like they're getting on that energy. Like, it's not for you, but in a way you have to experience it. It entices you in or whatever. But like, I'm really curious to see what it's going to feel like once this love is like really here, this love that feels like home for you, like what that is going to feel like on a soul level. Like, when you love somebody on a soul level, what that must feel like when you see them at the end of the day, or when you have time apart. Like, I'm really excited. It's like, to me, I'm going to get to experience like a whole new type of love, a higher love, but just such an like, I'm so excited for the love that I'm going to get to experience now that I'm healed, right? So, you know, and I'm very grateful for the experience. I feel like I've experienced, like, it's like two totally different loves, and yeah, it's such a beautiful time. See, I was dealing with somebody that had a cold heart, was playing games in and out, and it's because he had a cold heart because we trauma bonded, right? He didn't feel lovable, I didn't feel love, so we both trauma bonded, but I healed from the trauma bonds, right? And, you know, unfortunately, he sabotaged the connection by, you know, playing games and doing black magic, spell work, like sex magic and all of that. Whether you realize it or not, like, sex magic could literally be like, people don't realize, like, pleasuring yourself over pictures. That's binding. When you're, you know, thinking about some, you know, that's, you don't do things like that, right? Or constantly saying things. Like, he would always tell me what I was going to do, and it's just like, you got to be very careful with what you say. A lot of people don't realize that they're playing with energies. Like everything is a form of creation, right? Especially things that you're saying, especially when emotions and intent are behind it. That's what I mean, is that it's creative, that your sexual energy is like creative energy. So when you're like, if you're pleasuring yourself, that's creative energy that you're putting out there, especially when you're putting it on to people, things like that. Like you're binding them to you. You're siphoning their energy too, because you're pulling on their energy. Because when you think about people, they feel your energy. So you're pulling energy, right? It's just like when people do that stuff, like I feel that energy, you know, and I have to cord clear and things like that a lot, like exes and things like if you need to stop. Like I was going to do a reading too, where I was going to say like all the people that keep pulling on my energy in a negative way, like you're lucky I don't do reverse descenders and things like that. Like I send healing and stuff because I know a lot of people don't know what they do, right? But it's just like you have to be careful even with like your reverse descenders and the things that you do. But people have got to learn how they need to everybody needs to focus about their own life and like stay out of people's energy. Don't be talking about people. Like who are you to pass judgment on somebody? Everyone needs to stay in their own lane and like focus on your life and not other people's life, because it gets into so much spell work, manipulation, control, black magic. You know, like people don't realize they're going around being little word witches and stuff. And, you know, and then when there's heavy emotions, and especially if you're projecting, and then if you're like getting off on seeing people go through like that's a whole nother level. Like all that stuff's like getting reversed. Oh my gosh. See, they're coming out with this. I'm probably gonna have to do a reading about that. Okay. But anyway, at some point, like you need to be okay, I'm going to see. I don't want to get too feisty. I'm going to calm down. Let's get into some tarot, though, because I want to keep my readings around 30 minutes, like 8 of Cups. But see how she's set free? So for some of you, you straight up walking away, you setting yourself free. You know, like you have to release and let people go, too. Especially like if you get broken up with or there's a separation or whatever, you know, and like even if you're like, you know, because even a karmic soulmate, if you both clear the karma, like you could be together and clear the karma and have a beautiful relationship, but you have to let somebody go, because if it's true love, like it'll come back around if it's healed, right? But you've got to trust your discernment if it's healed, right? And know that if it was a karmic soulmate, you have a higher level love that's going to be triggered and come in, but you have to love yourself first. So don't go looking for rebounds. Don't get under someone to get over somebody. You know what I mean? Like that ain't going to do anything. You just going to trauma bond and you're going to bring in a whole nother mess and things like that. So yeah, you definitely ain't bringing in a higher level love when you're still broke and getting under someone to get over somebody. Okay, so all right, look, 8 of Cups again. You definitely walking away. Look, 8 of Pentacles and new beginnings, focusing on yourself, focusing on your own wealth, your worth, future plans. This is beautiful. 4 of Cups. Yeah, there was a missed opportunity. That's what I mean. I feel like even these people that do these things, like they sabotage themselves, you know? Like it's sad and unfortunate, and especially if people can't do the shadow work, do the healing. You know what I mean? They listen to friends and family. They let that dictate whether or not, if they're one that they got to go ask for approval from family, and like, it's sad because, you know, a lot of times people won't, I don't know why more people aren't like loving, like everybody puts in their opinions. Like that's one thing like I don't do, you know, like I don't like to gossip about people. So even if people are, and a lot of people will come to me for like, you know, advice and stuff. Being an empath, people are drawn to expressing things, but I always try to tell people, you got to trust what you feel, because I can tell you what I think off of what you're telling me, but that's only from my perspective, not yours. And I know that you're explaining the situation, but you know, you fully don't explain both sides. You normally always try to put yourself in a better light, right? Because who wants to really go and talk trash about themselves, right? So it's even to get the perception of what somebody else has to say is not really going to be what you need to hear. So you have to trust what you feel. And if you're experiencing something, it's some sort of lesson that you need to experience, right? So it's like, why are you attracting that? Why, if that's going on in the relationship, then at some point, like you're doing that. It's just like if like you are cheating and messing around with someone. That's why you often think that your lover is, and then your lover is going to be guided to doing that if you're doing that. That's why I say, like, you know, if you're a cheater, a deceiver, then that's going to happen to you. If you're one that's not, then that you won't attract one that is. But if you have a fear of it, or you go gossiping, saying even to your friends that, oh, I think so and so is cheating on me, or you're getting caught up in these karmic readers where that's happening, then you can very much manifest that happening, because now you put it in your perception, your reality. You believe that it was happening, so now the universe is like, all right, then let's have this happen for you. That's why you got to be careful about the readings that you get in. You got to be careful about the karmic readers, and especially the collective readings. Right? Like, it drives me crazy, all these dark readings that go on in the like, not everything is going on. And so many people are going through, like, endings right now, relationships, and then so many people are getting out there and, like, exposing everybody because they're upset that things are going on in their life. And it's like, damn, do you realize what you're doing? Like, go heal yourself before you come and destroy a bunch of other people because you going through karma right now. Like, I'm done. Be careful what you subscribe to, what you listen to. Like, literally, oh my gosh, I'm done. Love and light to all of you. Bye, guys.